Well folks, I'm down here at a beach I said I would never fish again, Lilstock Beach, which is brutal on my poor feet. But basically I'm going to St Aldry's hopefully later on. The tide is up at high tide when it gets dark. It's about 4 o'clock, so it's 2 up and 2 down, and then it's a long drive home. I've already been down here fishing 2 days in Somerset, so I'm getting tired now. But the thing is, the wind's down, and I've got, I don't know, I reckon an hour and a half, 2 hours here. It's a good spot. I've never done any good here, but people do get some really good fish here. Fingers crossed I'm going to put out a whole squid. Here I've got it on a pulley pennel rig here, if I can swing it back. Got it on the pulley pennel rig, grip lead, and I'm just going to fire it out. There's not a breath of wind at all, there's nothing out there. Nice and peaceful, nobody to bother me, peace and quiet. Over here I see they're still building the Hinckley power station. And as you can see, it's as flat as a witch's whatever. Those of you who might remember what the saying is. It is a boulder strewn beach. I sort of hate it, but I know I've been there doing articles before for people many years ago. There's some real good fish come out of here, but I've never done any good. It's worth an hour and a half at the right time. Tide's flooding, been low, it's coming in, so let's get this bait in the water. Now, pounding surf, I would worry that the silt and suspension might cover my bait if I used the method called walk back, where you cast the bait out and you leave it for about 2 hours and just walk back as the tide pushes you up. So I'm going to heave this out there. I know I'm just on sand. The further out I get pushed back, then there you go. Let me just wang this out. No crack offs, please. Disengage on impact, please. Boom. So it's very shallow there because I felt the lead bury. But I gave it a yank. Hopefully pulls it clear. This is what wears me out, walking backwards, up and back and up and back. You can't, on a flood tide, you can't really put your rods right down by the water because you're moving them back all the time. I might actually use a plain bomb on the other rod. I don't think there's enough of a tidal flow, a lateral tidal flow to warrant using a grip, really. Oh dear, I hate this. I could fall over and it might even break my wallet. Oh my god. Now, do I fish squid? Because there has been a big cod caught up the coastal ways off the shore. Real big one, I think it's 13 pounds. Right, I've got fish bait, but then thornbacks like fish bait, so do I go with that? I think I will. I've got some squid there Tomo gave me, and I'll just make a little combo bait of a bit of herring, strain that juice off, and that squid. It's a risk of putting a big bait out, chances of catching nothing are pretty high, but I did hear a guy that was here and he used small baits, put small worm baits out, and he got absolutely nothing. So I figure I've got nothing to lose, except the hand white rag, of which I've got 3 in the car and left them, yes, all in the car. This one's a single pulley panel, just a single hook on it, and I've made a bait here. Who knows whether it'll work. It's a squid and herring combo with a fillet, with the meat part and the skin up, so that hopefully crabs can chew away at the skin. If I put it the other way up, it would let more juice out, but I think the crabs would chew away the meat and just leave me a piece of skin. So single hook there, bound on with the bait thread. Not the world's greatest hook, but I'm going to make do. I'm only here for an hour and a half, I guess. Gonna whiz that one out, and I've got, because I know it's very shallow out there, a single long tail bomb. We've still got the bait clip on it, so hopefully it'll hold out there. So all it does is a little notch there. You just put the bend of the hook like this in the notch, and then when it impacts with the water, it just falls free like that. Sometimes, look, it comes free in the air, and I'm really not bothered as long as it's free. Let's get it out there. That tide's come in since I've actually been here. Right, whizzo time. Oh, nearly went in with it then. Well, it's out there, guys. I can do no more. I can do no more except soak the bait. Watch the wet ones when you walk over them at lower water. The barnacles do give you some grip, and I try and tread on flat ones where I can. The ones that can roll an ankle are the really round ones that could be balanced, you know. So oldies like me, A, don't do it, and B, if you do it, take a lot of care. Don't rush. I want to rush because I'm a fisherman, but it's the way it is. This age you've got to take a little bit sensibly. One fish would be worthwhile, even a dogfish, because my main mark is up the coast a bit. It's a short 4-hour slot, and it's an open beach, and it's flat. Oh my god, I really am nearly done with boulder beaches, I have to tell you. I know there's good fishing, I know there is, I'm not disputing that, but you get to the certain seniority in fishing years and think, you know what, I've done all that before, why am I doing it again? And it's even more painful than it was 10 years ago. There's still something about a mark like Lilstock, because there's some big bass, I mean seriously big bass come through. Nice thornbacks. I don't catch them, but guys do. They do get some very big fish. I heard there was a really big catch of thornbacks up by Hinkley Point somewhere recently this winter. And of course it's hard to believe. All this cloud, it's high pressure, plenty of cloud, which is unusual for high pressure, but it's so mild. It's winter in England. There's not a leaf on the tree over there. This could be howling, freezing, sleet. It's just, this is global warming, I would imagine. But the fishing, they tell me, has not been great. This is off the shore. The small fish, or the small to medium fish. Every so often somebody gets a big fish, big cod, big whatever, big rain, you hear about it, or it's on Facebook. A lot of guys catch nothing. Talk to a guy that specialised down here, an older guy, he's my age, and he's been down here twice. It's his favourite hotspot. He knows exactly where to go. He reeled off all the fish he had years ago. They weren't impressed this time. He blanked twice, and he lives here. Yeah, big baits, one bite, that's what I'm looking for. I've been here 45 minutes, nothing guys. I'm doing, which I didn't want to do, walking around looking for lost line. I found a little bit of lost line. There's a guy here walking along with his dog. Oh, the old dog must have, he's got 4 paws to try and get caught in a crack in the rocks, hasn't he? We've only got 2. Maybe he's better off with 4, I don't know. Who knows? A scientific theory. Is a dog more likely to break an ankle or paw going over here, or humans? Lower centre of gravity for the dogs, higher for the humans. Smaller brain for the dogs, bigger brain for the humans. Work it out. Got to be the humans to fall over because they're looking for something else. Good here for fossils all along here. I've had a good old look around. I mean, I like looking at stuff. Doesn't do my feet any good. Like the patterns in that. They're just like sort of an old type seaweed. Oh, down there I found one piece of fishing line, and I've marked it because there was a, oh, there was like a fossil there. So I can show you people just here. You can see that shape in there. Anybody know? Is it an ammonite? The usual shell ones. It's interesting anyway. Let's take, oh, hang on a minute people, hang on. All is not lost. Mr. Ammonite. I caught a glimpse of a speck of green. I do believe, look, what I found was a piece of this about 20 feet further up there. So if the guy's got 12, 15 foot leader, measure it across here, this could be happy days. There's even a rig on that. No, that's not his rig. It's a clip. This is a pretty new one. I'm going to have to go excavating. So Smith and the others take notes on the ammonite here. There'll be questions at the end of the trip. Meanwhile, obviously I can get to the lead, but there might be a rig under there. Bear with me. I've got some part of the rig here. There's the hook. Pretty rusty hook, broken, but if you look back here, the actual rig, pinch there. There's the rig, got to get it out now. Got it. So, it is in fact, we can look, there's the bead, there's the clip. That's how the rig was sent out with a guy, pulley panel, single hook, a nice expensive couple of pounds lead, lovely, couple of pounds in money, and a double hook there which the point snapped off of both of those. That's the downside of double hooks when you fish rough ground. Anyway, no fish, but I've come away with a nice expensive lead, which of course I will then lose myself. Another ammonite thing down there. So I've got a sort of a theory, you know, about coming to places like this, low water marks, low water springs normally, rough ground fishing, and finding lost gear for free. The way I look at it is, the older the guy, the more time he's got on his hands to fish. He's finished working, he's retired. He can come down and fish whenever, okay? So he's going to put more time in, so chances are he might lose more gear. Also, he's not going to walk so far. Now everybody knows, oh, the pipe at Lilstock, you want to fish to the left of it or the right of it, whatever. I'm doing the same, but purely because I'm killing 2 hours, that's all. Can't be bothered to walk farther. The better anglers, I'm going to say, will walk farther to the end of the reefs, further out and up to the mud bay here. So they've got thornbacks this way and a better fish down that way. So they're going to walk farther because they're younger. If they're younger, they're going to cast farther. They're probably going to lose less gear. So I always figure that the older guys are going to lose gear. They're not going to want to traipse all the way up and down the beach. I know, I'm one of them. I get in the same way. I don't want to go miles, you know. You want convenience, just enjoy a bit of fishing. Older you get, you're going to cast less distance. So I reckon 50 yards either side of, let's say, the pipe, because everybody knows the pipe, wherever the car park, let's say the car park is, that sort of thing. 50 yards either side. If you go up and down and look about from high water, are they going to cast 140 yards to reach the sand? Maybe some of them do, a lot of them won't. They're going to start dropping short 3/4 of the way down the beach, and that's where I go looking. It's my theory. Another thing I want to know, how come wherever I fish, there's not a nice stone like this? This end's not too bad for walking over. Look, that has to be put there by an angler. Now why can't that be? Oh, it's lovely. It's square, it's not a boulder, it's flat. Look, I'm not moving my rods over here. I would tell you what I would do normally. I would start and set up here. Why are they all rounded and the one that's lovely to sit on here is 35 yards from where my rods are? There's no justice in a fishing world. Well, I'm afraid nothing. Another gentleman's turned up right down the end there. He's been there an hour, I haven't seen him want to fish in yet. Same as me, I am totally biteless, so that's as far as I can get up here with the tide. I need to get to the other mark, see if I can salvage something. The other one is a high water mark, but the benefit being it coincides with dark, and that hopefully will get me a fish or two. Right, let's pack up. So, while I'm staying here overnight here, and falling over. It's called a pod. I think that's what they call them, a pod. But look at the view I've got. Outside, fields, chickens. I'm actually staying on a farm and they've got these pod things. I'll show you the outside. I'm not selling them, I'm just saying this is where I'm staying. And it's got, look, a little settee. It's like a sort of, I don't know, it's like a square container, if you like. You know, I don't know whether they actually put it down on site in one go or whether they actually build it here. It's got a little settee. I've bought my own reading, obviously, because it's dark in the winter nights and I can't watch telly all the time. Good book that by anybody who wants to have a good read. It's an older book. So look, fridge, microwave. Doesn't come with the camera equipment. TV, kettle. I can make my flask. Variety of teas and coffees. A heater. What else do you want? Look, what else do you want? Toilet, shower. I think it's neat, and this is all like a sealed unit as well. It's not tiled. It's that I've got a flat with this stuff on it. Quite expensive stuff. And then the view outside, you can see, hopefully, is a farmyard. So neat little unit, ideal for fishermen. It's like a sort of giant bivvy, but with all mod cons. And I like the idea. And you can actually, in the summer, get served breakfast on the patio out here with that view. And this one, it comes with a cooked breakfast as well. I've just eaten it, followed by 4 farm dogs, so it tells you how big the breakfast was. Anyway, I've got to get fishing. It's the way it is. I just thought I'd mention it to you. Something different. I stayed in a pod. Let's go. So I'm down here at the other mark. It is out a little bit further than I thought it would be, but because down here at Bristol Channel it comes in so fast. So looking along the beach here, see the last high water mark up there, almost where that log is there. Quite a steep fall, but it's changed since I've been here before. I wonder if it's the big northerly storms we had a few weeks ago, because I've never seen as many boulders. God forbid it's going to turn into one of those awful boulder beaches again. I've never known that all the years I've come down here, that seen that many. But I reckon that's the northerly storms coming in and churning all the sand out from the boulders, just leaving the boulders. That is really almost disappointing in a way, because at high water you've got to get a decent cast to get out on the sand. Now generally this is just a high water mark, this is what I've been told, high water mark, 2 hours up, 2 down, or maybe 2.5 down. Depends on whether it's a spring tide, neap tide, the winds affecting the tide, the moon, the air pressure and all that business. It can make difference to the tide. But usually wouldn't want to start fishing until, as you can see just here, I walked there literally 5 minutes ago. That's how fast it's come in. That was bone dry there 5 minutes ago. Already the water's in, so by the time I rig up, it's worth a throw out. That's amazing. I've been coming down here quite a few times. I'm surprised how fast it does come in here. But what I think, when the water fills up here, there's quite a steep rise here, so it's going to get to the here and then it's going to be slow coming in for a little bit because it's going to build. So I reckon when it gets to about here, that's going to give me possibly the best chance, because there'll be a decent depth out there, maybe 3 feet, who knows. It's still worth a throw. The other thing I think is, once it comes over here, it's going to push laterally along the beach. You know, it's going to create a bit of a tidal flow, which is not a bad thing in itself. So let's get rigged up again and see if I can salvage something out of yet another beach trip. Mind you, got 2 leads, I can't grumble. Well, I was just looking like here. There's some big stakes are out there. I saw it up when I was up on the cliff at low water, and this stuff, look, massive bits are really dangerous. One cutting off with an angle grinder, but I don't want to be winding in there. So if I do hook anything, I'm going to pull it to the left if I can. I'm going to actually cast this one this size. One day I'm going to catch something really good on this shotgun rod. Out we go. Now I have been told just putting a squid in loose down there is always a good shout. I've got braid on here with about 20 yards of topping because I use this one boat fishing as well. I've got nylon top in there. Gonna stick him up there. He's got 2 chances, 1 and none. A little bit more wave action around here. I wonder if that will stir the fish up a little bit. I do a 360. Nobody else is crazy enough to come out. Well, other fishermen are obviously, but there's no one down there. A couple of guys, well, half a mile or so, way down over there. As you can see, I have the whole place to myself, and I don't have a problem with that at all. Right, here's a little bit to clean the ground if I can get onto the sand. I'm just using regular popping rod, which I don't use a lot. I was using it on the boat yesterday. It's really good. Old fixed ball, both Namuras I think. I've got about £30 line. I've got a 2-hook paternoster there. You can see that one just got a combo bait whipped on there, squid and an extremely ancient mackerel and a veined grip lead. I still think I need the grip lead. So I'm sort of not expecting to catch anything for another hour or so at least. And when it gets dark, I will be expecting to catch something. So I'm just going to whack this one out and put it in that shotgun holder. Now I'm going to sort of skip between that short rod and not lob it too far, and then fish the other bigger baits further out. But one thing you've got to remember is when you're fishing a place like this is, you've seen those big boulders, they're now covered up. So it's always wise to come and, you know, if you're new to a spot, come and check it out at low water so you can see what you're casting into and how far you've got to cast as well. So I know from up here at the high water, I might snag on the spinning on the shotgun rod closer in, take a gamble with that. But the other 2 rods I should be on the sand. However, don't just nonchalantly wind it in slowly like that, because you're going to pull your lead straight in the boulders or the hook. Pull for a break, the line's in the water, and the next guy comes along and he snags in that piece of line in the water. So I actually walked all the way along the beach, which I didn't film, looking for lost leads, lovely, happy days, but mostly any line that's left out there, because the grip lead will go into it, the hook will go into it, it just slides along. Sometimes you can feel it like this, you're winding, you know that's somebody else's line. Every time you break off, you know, you want to, if you're about, try and go down. I've done it here. Gone down, next low tide. Oh, there's my rig, got it all back, happy days. Hopefully I don't lose anything, but when you do start it coming, really go crazy and keep, especially with a fish, and get it up off the bottom. That's why that pulley rig works, because it pulls the lead up a little bit. It doesn't solve all the problem. Nice to get an early fish. 20 to 3. It's dark in about 1.5 hours down here in the west. Down here in Somerset, stays light a little bit longer. I'm a Hampshire hog. I'm one of the Hampshire hogs. It's dark at 4 o'clock up there in the winter. Roll on April. I could easily hibernate. If I could hibernate till April, and somebody else pays all the household bills and mows the lawn, I'll wake up lovely and warm and go fishing. And they've had huge storms here, northerly storms. And I've never actually noticed this sort of spit of rock here, but look at the colours in it. Amazing. I would think the geologists go nuts when they see all this stuff. It goes all the way up. Washed a bit by the water there. It's like a seam coming down there. There is a weird bit here that I've never seen before. I don't know whether it's been exposed by these big northerly storms or whether they crashed in here, washed up and then washed it down. But look at the, check this out. There's two different types of geology stuff here. This is all compacted, almost like set like ballast cement. But then you come just here and there's this massive sort of coral type feature with all the holes in it. Now, has the sea done that? Has it been driven up here by the big storm? I don't know. I've never seen it here before. It could have been underneath the shingle, it's been uncovered, or it could have come from up on those cliffs up there and just crashed down here. But I don't understand all these little holes. See it all in there. And over here, just to get an idea how strong the storms are, all this area up here has been, I can tell because I've been here before, maybe not for a year, but after that big storm, the waves have crashed up in there and washed and sucked it down. And the steps that they used to have at the bottom here, look, there's a bunch of concrete steps here. I've sat on those before, further away, so I mean they must weigh 2 tons at least. How on earth does the ocean get that much power that it can throw something like that around? That's just ridiculous. I wish I'd throw a fish on my rod. Just lost a really good fish then, guys. I'm so pleased. So pleased. I was sitting up there on that concrete block. I saw that rod come back as a slack liner, so I know it's a good fish. Single hook, and it's doubled back on itself. I mean, I just have such bad luck beach fishing. It's just, I don't know why I even bother doing it. Don't know why. I mean, you wouldn't mind, would you? Just looking for one really good fish. That was a really good fish, thumping and banging away. Yeah, it wasn't a dogfish or anything like that. I mean, it could have been a cod, it could have been a bass, a conger. It wasn't a ray, definitely wasn't a ray. Son of a... And it wasn't a single hook, it was a pennel hook, can you believe? And he'd folded the pennel hook round and he'd folded it inside, and I was fighting him and it just pulled out. I don't think I was even hooked on him, I think he was just jammed in his mouth. I cannot believe it. Anyway, it looks about top of the tide, and the other thing is moving. I've now lost my bait thread, so I can't bind my bait down, so I can't do distance casting, which means I've got to drop it short by just hooking it twice, which means I might get snagged and not getting the fish zone. So it's sort of happy days, and it looks like being happy nights. Just on dust, this camera doesn't show it, as you know, this one's in real low light and nearly shoot the dark for this thing. Bigger waves coming, which tells me it's getting near the top of the tide. And now make that sort of roaring sound when it goes back, and sucks, as it goes back, it sucks the stones and they all sort of roar. You can almost tell when it's turned and gone down. But I might get a fish on the turn with the dart. I don't know how long I've got really. That's 4 plus 5. Probably only got an hour left before it flies out. But I've got to fish it down. I've got no choice. You know, that was a real good fish. I sat up there. And I always keep a little bit of bow in the rod top. I used to do a lot of cod fishing years ago. You always look for the slack liner because you know that's a big enough fish to pull the grip out. But I saw the line come back, saw the line, tip came back, line's in the water, run down. Sorry, run down, put the rod down, run back, switch the camera on, go back. But that wasn't the reason I've lost it. I've lost plenty of fish through messing with this camera, trying to get shots for you people. But it's just the way it is, and that was just bad luck, that one. See if we can get something else. Well, salvation indeed, if there ever was such a thing. The humble dogfish, and it's not a halfway bad dogfish, I've got to be honest. It's one of the, that's probably the biggest Somerset dogfish. I've caught that one, guys. I still would have liked to catch that other fish I had. What was it? A bass? A cod? I think it was a conger, but look. At least I've got a fish out of it. Thank goodness for that, the tide's turning. I'm just going to have one last bait up. I just saw tap, tap, tap. Let's get him unhooked. That was on the combos. Oh, he just fell off the hook, people. He just fell off. Oh well. I've got the dogfish trophy again. People have just gone to put the camera away, and that one I'll zoom in if I can. I'm pretty sure I had a bite on that one. There he is. Oh, Jesus! He's off. Lost him again. Should have let the bite progress, but it just hammered over. Let me get the other rod out. I might just have a slight chance in a half an hour. Oh. That bite's on two then, people. I really need the shotgun bob with some white paint on the tip. I guess it was a white and I was a bit keen on it and I missed the fish. I chucked fresh bait out, tipped off the hook with a piece of squid. Well, the tide's on the way out now, but definitely a couple of bites. One was a slamming over. Oh, look at the right hand rod. Still chewing it. Missed it. Right, weird. I was getting hammering bites. Oh, I'm not connecting, so I'm guessing. I think their bites are too big for whiting. I think there's dogfish going through. But I tipped off with some really big bait, so it's probably a bit big for them. I'm actually getting bites on both of those white tip rods. Bites on a spinning rod, but they're not coming to anything. So I figure they're dogfish. I think I'm just going to have to, I'll put bigger baits on, so I'm probably going to miss them, but you never know. Do a left hand, you'll see that left hand, I'll pull over in a minute. And the right hand one, I can see the bites on them. But I've left them long enough that I would think I need a brain surgeon to get them off the hook. fish on anyway. At the moment. Look at this. What's that saying, people? Fortune favours the brave. OMG. Oh, I'm so pleased with that one. You have no idea. Oh my God. I can't even remember what it was on. Ow, he's got thorns. That's why he's called a thornback, Graeme. Beautiful. I wonder if those other bites, I thought they were doggies. Watch my second hook. Watch my fingers. Now you can get the pliers on this one, guys. I'm going to switch off a second. If you check out the other one behind, guys, that's hammering as well. There we go. That's too bright, Graeme. There we go. Trying to get him in the camera lens for you. Nice thornback, Ray. I'm going to get him back because I think it might be a bite on the other rod. What a result. I think what I'll do is get that other bait out. I'm not clipping them down, I'm just lobbing them out there, hoping that I'm actually clear of that shingle, the bank, you know, the boulders. Right, let's get it out. Tide drop right out. Quick. Not long left now. We're getting bites on. Look. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's on. He's got to be on. I can't. Do I get the camera? What do I do? Oh my, this is going up there. Gone all quiet. those boulders are loose. Oh, look at the other one. The other one's going. What is this? What is that? I think it's another ray, guys. It's got this bloody rock. Whoa, big ray. My goodness me, talk about last cast. Another thornback. Look at the size of this one. Let's tune that light down for you. Oh, not quite that much, friend. Well, there you go, people. It all turned round. My goodness me. I'm going to come back with that. Out there. That is a nice thornback. And do you know what? Down this beach, I've never caught 2 thornbacks in a row. Looking at that other rod, I might have a 3rd one. What a beaut. Oh my God. Let's get some food soon before I drop down from exhaustion. I'm literally running out the beach now, people. Dogfish on the other rod. And he's just nicked in the side there. So, whew, I'm out of breath running up and down, but I know it's only going to last as long as those baits are on that sand. Right, one more cast. He's just slowed. At one stage, all 3 rods going. I don't know whether they were thornbacks or whether they were doggies, I've got to be honest. I think I'm done now. I'm literally soaking bait for the last 5-10 minutes because I've got to get home and I don't live anywhere near the sea. I have 200 miles to drive. Well, I wish I lived close to somewhere like Somerset, you know, some decent shore fishing like this. I'd soon get it worked out. But you need to be local, you need to be here all the time, live here, and you know the different marks, when they fish, when they don't fish, what bait, when, how far to cast. I just rock up and go fishing. But I'll tell you why I think those fish, I'll tell you why those fish came through, is I think when it drops out, it gets to that steep gully bit that I mentioned earlier on. I think as soon as that tide speeds up, they know that's going to dry out there. So they're going to feed quickly, you know, they want to feed quickly and then shoot out to the deep water. So I'm thinking I won't get another take, but I've got to give it a 5 minute. Moon's up there as well. It's really pretty night. Wow, I can't believe we got 2 thornbacks out of that. That's a result. Well folks, I think that's it. Bites have gone right off now. I think I've got quite a long drive home. I've also got to go up 200 feet of cliff with all those steps and all the gear. That's as it is though. That's a bigger one. So thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. Hit the subscription button, TA Fishing, TA Outdoors. I've had a good one. It turns into a good spot. I knew this chances of this place was on at night. If anything, Lilstock, the other place, would have been where I thought I was going to get a ray. So you think thornbacks down there, And Kong's up here? No. But I'm well happy. I don't care where I catch them as long as I catch them. We'll see you next time, and I hope the weather and the fishing turns out as good as this. Well, I've got to use the GoPro here, guys, because the big camera's making all whirring noises, and I don't want to mess around. I've lost that footage. I've got bites on this one here. The tide's falling away really quickly. I've probably got 30 minutes left. So I'll just whack some extra squid on the tips of the hooks, and that's just going to have to hold it together, and fingers crossed I might get one more fish, I don't know. But that's the thing, it stays up quite a while and then boom, it goes out fast. Good session, good session. I mean, I knew that first fish I lost, I knew it was a good fish. It could have been a big, maybe double figure ray, who knows. I didn't think it was a ray, I've got to be honest, you don't know. And that's what I like about sea fishing, you just don't know what's out there. I've gone from not hero to zero, I've gone from blank to Hank. Just one more, all greedy, just one more. Oh, that camera's all right. You won't see it. I've tried putting the camera there, but this GoPro is no good in low light. I've no idea even if this is coming on, just guessing. But I've just had little bites on all three, so they're either whiting, chewing at the fresh bait I put out there, or they're dogs, or who knows. I don't think they're big fish. But it's way down now. The tide's gone right down. Well, well, well. Look who's come to town to show up at the last minute. Just on the wind in there, guys. Little small whiting. That must have been some of those sharp tap bites I was getting. So, thornbacks, dogfish, whiting. What a trip.